Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Mystical Mystique Psychic Medium Live TV. Well, it's Tuesday night. Welcome aboard. I'll just give everybody a bit of time to jump on in while I get to start to sharing some of the posts. If anyone would like to take the time now to share to their groups or to their friends or anything, that would be absolutely fantastic. The more the word gets out there, the more I can help a lot of people. So yeah, I can see, discard. I can see a few people jumping on, which is fab. Hello to Vicky. Hello to Clarissa, Melissa, Jacqueline, Joanne. Breeze is early. Jenny, you're early too. So I'm just going to wait a little bit. I'm just sharing the page to a couple of groups. That way, many more people can join. Anne Marie, good evening. Danina, my soul sister, good evening to you. Lovely to see you. Joe, hello. Chloe, hello. Sammy, I think is Sammy new? I think Chloe is. Breezer, thank you so much for sharing. Okay. As I said, I'm just going to share it around a couple of groups just so we can get the ball rolling while you all jump in and join in. Fabulous to see you here this evening. It is 8:03 p.m. Sydney time. For any of you that are watching already from overseas, we are Sydney, Australia time, actually daylight saving time. So welcome aboard to all my international guests as well as my Australian guest. It's so nice to see you all. Okay, I'm going to start off with a little bit of housework. I said before, it'd be nice if you can like and share the feed. It brings you. It just brings more people to be able to get some help, more people who maybe don't even know about this particular feed, more people that can come on board and especially in the counselling side if they need be, as of course as well as the mediumship side. I will apologise up front if we do get any trolls tonight. I try and get rid of them as soon as I can when I see them. However, I know there's a few of you that also keep a bit of an eye out for me because there is only me. So I will actually say from the start, if you actually get approached by someone who says, inbox me for a particular reading, then that person is only going to scam you for money. So Mystique, always, always, always on lives at this point and anywhere else, I do work alone. So by working alone, it means that if it's only me who will actually, message you if I need to, of course, anything else. But otherwise than that, everybody else is a bit of a scammer. So I do apologise in advance if we get any of those tonight. Facebook are aware of it, but apparently scammers just love live feeds. Anyway, let's get started. I hope a few of you have liked and shared the page. And I will probably ask that a couple of times throughout the night just so we can get as many probably around the world as we can with a different time frame. Okay, I'm going to jump here to Vicky. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And I think you've been a bit of a regular of late, which is fabulous. And yeah, long-time PTV psychic TV viewer. So just a little bit of a thing there. I actually will be on the phone lines a bit more frequently on psychic TV. The show's not back as yet, but the phone lines are still very, very operational. So, I will obviously advertise it on my page when I'm going to be on board with that. Again, as I've had a few incidents go on this year that has kind of pushed me away from it a bit. But anyway, we'll be back on there soon. So welcome everybody again. And Vicky, I'm going to jump into you. I actually want to say to you that I don't know if you've actually lost something around your home, like, you've lost something in your home that you can't find, because I'm being directed to, I think it's a small item. So I want to actually say jewelry, but I want to say to you, it's not a piece of jewelry that is overly significant from spirit world as such, but something that someone has their eye on that seems to think that you're getting rather upset because you can't seem to find it. Having said that, I don't see it as such as, and yeah, I mean, you know me, I say everything with respect. So I don't see it being a piece of jewelry that's been given to you by someone who has passed on. I actually feel that it's just something that maybe someone has commented on and that likes looking at it on you, and that's the reason probably why you're upset that you can't find it. Plus, also too, every piece of jewelry or everything that we buy, cost us money. So when we lose something, of course, it upsets us. But I actually want to say to you that when you stop looking, it will appear. It's almost like it's just been put somewhere, like it hasn't been lost. It's been put somewhere where you've really totally forgotten where, and you're probably, to me, I'm being shown that you'll find it in the most strangest place. However, Spirit wants to play a game, and I want to say it's Mum who virtually says, you love a challenge. So by her not letting me know where it is, that means I'm kind of bound to secrecy as well. So she's having a little bit of a joke and just sort of saying to me that, when you stop stressing over it, when you stop looking, it will just appear. And in that message too also is, I guess, because she is saying, stop stressing, it's more about also too that there's something else going on at the moment where you're stressing dramatically over something, and she wants you to sort of like, pull back a little bit and just kind of work out why you're stressing, and work out if it's something that, if you can't change immediately, why are you stressing so much at the moment about it? Because to her, it's kind of like you will get the answer that you seek, but maybe not tonight, maybe not in a few days' time. But again, when you least expect it, it's going to pop into your head. So the message is very clear from Spirit tonight. We're two separate things, but have the same meaning. So stop looking for the lost piece, excuse me, and stop worrying about something that you can't have the answer to just right now, because all these answers will come to you very, very soon. And you'll kind of kick yourself when you find the piece of jewelry. You kind of go, oh, why did I put it there? Because it's now so obvious, but that doesn't matter. The point is that it is not lost for good. And Mum says, I don't know where this comes into play, but she says you need to, it's probably your personality, I'm not sure in this sense, but she's at me kind of giggling and saying you need to sorry, I've got to keep laughing at her. She's just so cute. You've got to stop pointing the finger. You've got to stop making demands as such. But I don't think it's you making demands. I think it's more about you trying to be in control of certain situations. Henceforth, yeah, her comment is probably like, step back a bit. You don't always have to be in control. There are sometimes it's nicer when things are out of your control and you let them play out. Okay. So I hope all that makes sense. And please jump in and certainly let me know. Good evening, Clarissa. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, Joanne. So nice to see you all. So nice to see you all. Breeze's here, Jenny's here, Stella's here. Stella, I hope you're going okay after our session the other night. It would be good to not maybe here, but you have been telling me a little bit, so I hope everything's all going well, and I'm sure you will let me know. Breezer, I'm so glad you're looking forward to it. Tony, hello. Anne Marie. Oh, I know, Anne Marie, but you know what? It's my love. I believe I'm put on this realm to help as many as I can, and hence why when I was a child and I first started connecting with spirit, I was still very young when I saw a vision of me having a wellness centre, and that's turned out in a sense of, yes, I have my psychic mediumship stuff, but I'm also like fully qualified holistic counsellor, fully qualified psychotherapist, fully qualified spiritual intuitive healer, and even a motivational speaker and such. So there's a lot of things that that I do apart from psychic mediumship. And sometimes even when we're having a bit of fun with psychic stuff, and I can be extremely serious when it comes to helping people with domestic violence, helping people through marriage situations, helping people that have lost their way when they've lost their own self-worth, all that sort of stuff. I'm more than qualified in those sorts of fields to have those professional sessions with people as well. But everything is all on my website, www.mystique, M-S-T-I-Q. You can see a wrong side, you can see in the background my lovely sign, .net. You can certainly see all my things that I do right there. Okay, sorry, I'm just off cue a little bit. My first thing is I got a message in my ear to see if there was any trolls already. So Vicky has responded. It's a dragonfly necklace. That was something my mum always said she liked when she had Alzheimer's. Oh, bless you. Well, she doesn't have Alzheimer's if she's certainly remembering it, and certainly having a bit of fun with letting you know that she's kind of well, that she kind of watches every move of yours in a sense, but she's there to guide you, Vicky, and I yeah, it's really impressive that you can validate that immediately. So thank you so much. I'm sure it will pop up when it can. Okay, who have I got? Chloe would love some insight to where my dad's life is going. He seems to be a bit lost at the moment. Thank you. Chloe, I want to say to you that you're an exceptional help to him. Dad's lost for many reasons. It seems what I'm hearing from my own spirit guides, and I actually have my granddad as well. He doesn't often come in, so yeah, hello, Pop. It's nice to have him beside me. It's with your dad. It's more about he has lost some connections. He seems to have. And I guess COVID may have played a little bit of going out, stop people from seeing people in the street, all that sort of thing. But it seems to be that Dad has lost his way in also him communicating with others. So I'm not sure if he's, I say everything with the greatest respect. So I'm not sure because the feeling I get is he's starting to lose a bit of his memory, and henceforth with losing some of that, he doesn't remember to pick up the phone and ring some of his mates. And I also want to say that this year too, he's lost a few of his mates too, and I think because of that, he's feeling a little lost himself. Anyone who loses mates, friendships, whether it's through someone passing or whether it's through they pack up and move to another country, all that sort of stuff, we go through this grief. And you can't tell anyone how long grief is going to last. You can't say, get over it, because everybody suffers very, very differently. So anyone who breaks up in a relationship, anyone who is grieving over something, we can't tell you how long that's going to take, because every single person is different. And I don't like people who just say, oh my God, it's been a couple of years, get over it. It's more about also too, sometimes they want to, relive that memory because it's fun and relive the special time that they had. But I'm coming back to your dad in virtually saying that, I don't know if you can help him as such, because there seems to be I'm going to giggle when my pop says a little black book, but it's not necessarily a black book, but there's a book somewhere, and it is only small though, in size, where there is a lot of connection numbers in there. And I'm being advised that if you can kind of ask Dad if he's got it, or if he knows where it is, and go through it and possibly help him reconnect with a few people, and just kind of, if you can kind of arrange a small reunion as such, maybe just a gathering on the phone to start off with a couple, one after another, just so he gets that sense of some of my mates are still here. It's just kind of like he's lost his way in that stuff. But also too, there's been some health issues this year as well, and I think with his health issues and losing a couple of people that he knows, I think there's just a bit of what I would say grief unhappiness, and then he's probably sitting there going, well, what's going to happen to me, like, and where's everybody gone type thing. So let me know how that sits with you, and I'm sure that you'll help Dad along the way. Thank you so much, Chloe, for joining in. Sammy, hello. Yes, I'm well, thank you. I hope you are well too. Breezer, thank you. Melissa, do I need a specific question? I feel like I probably need a message. Melissa, I in live feeds, I actually do prefer specific questions, only because I don't have to jump from here, there, and everywhere. I'm just kind of focused on one thing. However, if this is what you'd like, I'm just going to pull a couple of cards and just see where we're going with it. Oh, wow. Okay. Clearly, maybe why you've asked. So I won't condemn you for that. But I want to say to you that you're itching. Like, and when I do this, it's not about, I'm not doing that for money, but you're itching for change. You're wanting something to change in your life, and I want to say to you that you've thought about a few things, but I have to say to you, there's no action behind it. And again, with respect, it just seems to me that excuse me, again, I'm hearing from my nan and my pop at this point. It's more about, if you want something, and I know you're a fighter, so generally if you want something, you go and get it, and that's normally how you roll. But I want to say to you that a couple of things are kind of thrown you off balance in the last couple of months. And then it's more about, you've taken a step back, being a little bit unsure of you, being a little bit less confident in yourself, being a little bit of, oh, but if I do that, what if this can happen? What if that can happen? Or I'm not sure I can do that, and I'm not sure if I can do this. By questioning yourself to that degree, you've thrown a spanner in the works, where now that you kind of just in there going, well, what's next? I don't know where to go next. But that's more about you telling yourself that you didn't know which road to take. COVID has lessened up a lot. I mean, I know, sorry to my international viewers, I know you guys, you've got it running rampant at the moment, as well as, President Trump, with the election and stuff. So, that's a little bit different. But Melissa, I just feel with you that, given that COVID time, and you had some great ideas, and all of a sudden it seems that you're there, but you're just that little bit further, and then you've got it. It's like that little bit further, and then you can nail it, if you know what I mean. So I just feel that I mean, the other saying of that is, now it's just gone out of my head. No, it's gone out of my head. It's jumped out so much. No, not even going to try and find it in my head now. It's kind of gone, and that's just weird because it doesn't often do that. So that's just weird. But it's more about, just sitting there going like, okay, I've thought about this. I probably haven't channeled it through enough. I probably haven't worked out all the pros and cons. And by not working out the pros and cons, I probably want to say to you, that's where you're a little bit scared. That's where you're a little bit hesitant. And then you've kind of gone, oh, I just don't know, what else to do. Yeah. Come back to the thoughts that you had prior to all that sort of stuff, because I feel that everything will be okay once you kind of say, do you know what? What have I got to lose? This is what you've got to start, happening. The thought process of, what have I actually got to lose? Everybody who's scared to take that leap of faith. So this is for everybody, this part. If you're scared to take that leap of faith, ask yourself then, what have I got to lose? Because if you don't have much to lose, what is the point of holding back? Like, life is for living. COVID and all that sort of stuff, the amount of people have been sick and the amount of people have passed away overseas, it's time we kind of really live by, life is worth living. So take that leap of faith. What's the worst thing could happen? Okay. I just wish more people would actually do that. Okay, so you've come along with a question now. I've gone through all that. Okay, your father-in-law's not. I'm going to do that quickly. Your father-in-law's not deliberately holding you back. There is more. I want to say, to you. It's more about back end paperwork. There's it's either his solicitor or the Supreme Court. There is a back end lot of paperwork. It hasn't been going on the courts as such. It seems to be stuck in transit somewhere. So he's not doing that deliberately. So I really have to emphasize that, because I'm not getting anything from spirit anywhere along the line that someone is deliberately doing that to you. Okay. Because that's absolutely incorrect. So the more you kind of maybe look at him and think that, and the more you feel that, negative energy will, just really burn you out. So that kind of has to stop, because I actually don't feel that at all. Yeah. So something needs to give there. Yeah, Eileen, I know. And, it's just annoying. It really is annoying. So I'm just hoping Facebook can do something. I have actually mentioned a few of us that do lives where we've had this bit of a problem. You included. I've had your name in the mix as well, so I hope you don't mind. But I was trying to do, what I could to support everybody and virtually say, enough is enough of these. I understand these people are all coming from Nigeria, and they're virtually just watching for live feeds every single night just so they can, disrupt everybody. So, Eileen, I'll try and keep an eye out for yours, and certainly advise Facebook if I see too many. And I hope you will. Thank you, Carissa. Okay. Polemia, I think I've had you once before. Not of late, though. Okay. Will I conceive in November 2020? We are in November 2020. We are in the 10th. Do I see you conceiving before the end of November? I actually have to say no. I actually feel there's a bit of turmoil going on with your body. I feel like there's a lot of stress surrounding it, and a lot of, how do I say this? The stress part of it is more to what I hear about you. Every day it's almost like, am I pregnant today? Am I pregnant today? Am I? And there's more of that want has now turned into need and need and need. And the stress factor is when you tell your mind that you need something to happen, what you do is you tense up your entire body. And I don't wish to, sound crude or anything, but all your internal organs are then really tense and really, really stressed. And it's like they don't want to grasp anything that they should be grasping, if that's the way of saying it. But it seems like your body is just now getting really, really stressed about it. I do believe that you will conceive. I'm leaning towards the end of end of December, after Christmas, where you have kind of relaxed a little bit, because even if you relax tonight, in 2 days' time, you're going to be stressed again, saying, oh, I really, really want this. So learn to kind of, it really sucks when I have to say to you, I just want you to be patient, because it's more about you learning to be patient, you being understanding to say, do you know what, I have to listen to my body. And the moment I start listening to my body, it's then I will start to feel okay. And when you start to feel that, my life will be, further enriched with a child, and I await that to happen. Don't try and talk to yourself about forcing the issue, because you'll just tense up so much that you'll just feel like that you're not able to conceive at all, and then you'll just stress out about that. So I wish you well, and please let me know. Yana Yang shared, what month, year do you see me being in a relationship? Please help me know this. Okay, Yana, the first thing I'm going to say to you, and please do not take it the wrong way, because I say it with a massive amount of respect. If I told you what month and what year do I see you in a relationship, you would probably call me a fraud. Why do I say that? It's because with COVID running rampant, if you have no one in your life right now, times have changed. If I see something in the spirit world in 6 months, it could probably blow out to 9 to 12 months, because with COVID still active, and I'm actually not sure where you're coming from. Like, I don't know what country you're from, but with COVID still being active, it's made it very, very difficult for anyone to meet anybody, to embrace a relationship, to get involved in a relationship and allow that relationship to flourish. So having said all that, if I said to you today, from what Spirit is telling me, if I said next May, because I just heard May, then I have to add on probably a further 6 months from there. So that takes you around to like almost a year from today. But that is all about, and if you can think about it on another thing, I just want to put Spirit to the side for a moment. If you think about it on another level, if you haven't met someone now and you kind of understand all the restrictions and everything that's going on around COVID, how is it possible for you to just rush out the door now, be in certain places in the next few weeks, get used to seeing someone that's a regular, having a chat to them, embracing who they are, getting that connection right, and being able to freely, be with that person. It is going to take a little bit of time, and that's what really sucks about COVID, because it's for everybody who is looking for a relationship, anybody who wants to find their soulmate. So I hope anyone else that's listening, that's looking for love, anyone that's trying to find their soulmate, or just even trying to find a companion, we have to be really, really honest about. I mean, I'm honest, full stop, but really honest about how this is going to play out with COVID in the back end, and some areas like Sydney and other parts of Australia, their COVID numbers are so low, and some of them are zero, and it's fabulous. It's fabulous, but still, even with those low numbers, when they go out, if they meet someone, do we have to have a questionnaire? Do we have to say, oh, in the height of COVID, did you have COVID? Did you know anyone who had COVID? What area? We have to ask all these questions, which is it's not even going to be nice to ask all those questions. But while there's all that going on, people are going to have to do it. And if they don't, well, then, we can't control that either. So I just have to say that to you, because, I have to be really, really realistic with that. And I know I am in general, but it's just, I have to get you to understand without getting upset about it, because there is reasons behind it. Okay. So I hope that helps you, and just let me know how you feel about that, because I do say everything with the greatest of respect. I don't have judgment. I don't have any of that. So, okay. Okay, Chloe, I spoke to, I did your reading before. Just let me read what you've come back with. He just had a knee reconstruction, and his parental figures have let him down a lot lately, and he's been trying to fill a void, unhealthy way, which is putting him more at risk, which resulted in a bad motorcycle accident over the weekend. And I'm pretty sure he does have a little black address book. I'm really sorry to hear he's had further issues. Can you please give him my regards, but also too, with actually him, it's going to sound funny, but with him actually having that accident, and if you can look for that black book, and just give a few people a call maybe, and let them know, even if it's not a long conversation, like let them know that that he's had an accident, or he's unwell, and yeah. See if you can get a couple, maybe a backyard barbecue or something, a couple to maybe just have a beer and a catch up. You probably can't have much, probably being on strong antibiotics or something. But yeah, please give him my well wishes, and I hope he gets better soon. But help him get out of that rut a little bit. I know that you can. Okay. Don't look at it upon as, oh my God, I have to do this. It's more about, do you know what? I want to see my dad smile. I just want to. He's had a bit of down and crappy luck, and I just want to see him smile. Yeah. So I hope that helps, and thank you for letting me know. Okay, Lisa, would really appreciate a connection or message of possible many things. Okay, Lisa, I'm looking at your picture, and I'm actually looking at the person behind you. Yeah, okay. I actually want to say to you, I have a gentleman here that seems to present himself as a grandfather figure, but I actually want to say to speak to him the way you did, and the way your family, because the family word is very powerful coming through. There was so much fun. There was so much laughter. It's almost like he was not old enough. to be a granddad. I mean, he loved being a granddad, but just his personality, just his persona, he's not showing me that he's an old down and out granddad, put it that way. He's showing me that he was young and virile and all that sort of stuff, and a bit of fun, a bit of a character. I also want to say to you that I don't want to say that he was the life of the party, but in a sense, if there was a gathering, he always knew how to make others smile. And he had this little bit of a, I don't know why he's showing me this. I don't know what it's called, so I have to explain it. Like if you see those old movies where you've got Fred Astaire or someone dancing and they do that little side kick jump, that's what he's showing me. So it's quite cute. So for me, it's more about he did enjoy himself in this role, and he kind of wants to say, you know, don't be saddened by my passing. Don't feel like I don't know what's going on. It's more about he's kicking, you know, in a way, I guess the message there is he's kicking up his heels and enjoying what he can, because there was a time, where's he taking me? There was a time in his life where he was unhappy. I feel that he lost either his partner or his mum early, and therefore that kind of left him a bit of uncertainty in his life, I want to say there. But he doesn't want to dwell on any of that. He wants to, he's kind of like, you know, when I was in this realm, he suffered a bit from the grief and the loss and feeling lost and not knowing what to do. However, in spirit world, he has so much to do and he has so many people to watch over. So I actually want to say, you know, God bless him. He's a beautiful soul, and many, many, many hugs and kisses to you, because he's reaching out. And also too, he says that if, okay, I have to go back to where I look behind I mean, the picture's so small on my screen, so the person standing behind you in your picture, if it is granddad, because that's how he's kind of presenting himself, it's more about, you know, I watch over this one behind you, and this cheeky person behind you, and this person who seems to get away with saying a bit too much at times. Yeah. So granddad is, with the greatest respect, yeah, he's a lovely soul, and just let me know how that resonates with you, because I just think, you know, I just think he's a beautiful man. And if it's not granddad, it would be somebody, it'll be another, because it's a relative, it would be some other relative that has that male figure that feels like that you can talk to him about anything, and someone who, you know, thinks very highly of yourself and your family. So yeah, I hope that resonates with you. And if you can let me know, that would be fantastic. Okay. Who have I got? Hello, Ree. How are you? Any messages from Spirit World for me? It's all about spirit tonight, isn't it? Nobody seems to want anything else but mediumship. That's okay. You know, I prize myself in mediumship. I have that many connections with spirit. It's just, you know, it's awesome. And it's awesome to be able to bring them through to you, especially on a really quick, you know, a quick bang, bang, getting them all through. Okay. I want to say to you that I don't have a granddad for you, unfortunately. What I do have is someone who, it is a female, but presents themselves, I have to look carefully at her, because she presents herself with a few different hairstyles. I know that sounds weird, but she's showing me all these different hairstyles. It's almost like she has a wig for every occasion. I need to say it like that, because she was kind of a master at her own hair. I mean, my hair goes crazy, and I virtually have the same hair all the time. So, you know, apart from when I get it cut a lot shorter, so it doesn't go as crazy. However, that it seems that this lady has lots of different ways that she can do her hair, and quick ways too, because she's showing me like very, very quickly. So it's bang, 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 it's done. So I actually want to say to you that this woman, and she's again, like the last one, she's not presenting herself telling me that she is your grandmother, but she is a family member. Actually, I want to say it's grandma, because she just has this way of looking at me where I would say, if I was in spirit world, I would actually call her my grandma. So, but she's not old, and she still has this personality where she just keeps changing her hairstyle for me. She actually wants to put jewelry on, put jewelry off. So she has a great love for looking after herself. She has a great self-worth value where she enjoys putting her best foot forward, if that makes sense. And it's not about having an ego and wanting to look good all the time. It's just that she was brought up in an era that when you walked out the door, you kind of looked your best, majority of the time. So she's just showing me that she still has that love of life. She still wants to change herself up all the time and just wants to look a little bit different every time she presents herself. And I also want to say to you, there is a yellow flower. It's almost like she's given me it's a yellow rose, actually, not just any flower. It's a yellow rose, and she's presenting that to me, and she says, this is our eternal friendship. And that's what the yellow rose means, actually. It's eternal friendship, where she will never not be by your side. Lots of hugs and kisses to you, because again, another beautiful soul that everyone just seems to be reaching out and giving people love and hellos tonight, and a few hugs along the way. So that's, it's something that's very, very special. So Ria, if you want to let me know how that resonates with you, again, that would be fantastic. Okay, so I've got a few people have done that one. Lisa, I just did your one, so I hope you can let me know about that. Done that one. Okay. People are writing the same question over and over. Okay. Vicky, you're back again with something. Exactly. I'm trying to stop stressing over money. I simply cancelled an appointment with the bank for now, just waiting to win some money to buy a new stove. Because Daddy will give me Christmas and birthday money since he couldn't in July as we were locked down. Vicky, look, I really believe that everything will be fine. And Mum was saying to stop that stressing, because, even when I was talking about it with another lady with, wanting to know about conceiving, when you stress your body out so much, the tenseness that you put into your inside organs, your outside muscle, all this sort of thing, it just makes your day worse. And when you make it worse, it's just, just not. Anyway. Okay, Melissa, I love hearing all the feedback. What feedback? Are you going to share some of that with me? I'm a rock star now. Thank you, Vicky. I've done that. Lisa, thank you so much. If you can let me know how that message went for you, that would be awesome. Awesome. I'm just going to take 1 second to scroll down the bottom and just make sure I don't have any trolls. So just bear with me for 2 seconds. Sorry, guys, I'm just making sure there is nobody on this page that's driving anybody nuts. Because if they are, I will slap them. Look at me getting all excited. I'll slap them. Dean, good evening. Looking forward to seeing you. And has my father any messages for my mother? Thanks again, Dean. Hello, how are you? Great connection that we have, my love. And thank you for coming back and joining me this evening. It's wonderful to have you here. What am I getting? Okay. With all due respect and with the greatest amount of respect, I actually want to say to you that Dad seems to want to apologize for something that he said towards the end. So the way I'm being shown, is like, he's putting his hands out and virtually saying, I didn't mean to say that. It came out wrong. I was tired. I was unwell. He knows that you know that. He knows that your mum knows that, but there was a few things spoken. There was just a few things spoken. And I want to say to you that at times he has what I call about myself, like foot and mouth disease. Sometimes you just, blurt it out. And it's not meant in malice. It's not meant to upset anybody. But sometimes there is just so much going on in your head that you blurt out exactly what you're hearing or feeling, because you just have to get it out. So Dad is kind of saying that there was a few words spoken, that he feels that your mum doesn't necessarily show you that she's still upset about it, but in her heart she is. And I need to say to you, or I want to say to you, that Dad is very sorry about that. And Dad kind of says, okay, he's going to be a bit jovial now, because as much as he was being all serious and being very kind in what he was saying, he's virtually now just saying, oh, get over it. It was such a long time ago that happened. But in hindsight, I also want to bring forward a particular ring. It's not her wedding ring. It's another particular ring that he bought for her later on in life. So it's not the wedding ring. It's not an eternity ring. It's another ring that he bought for her. But she seems to now wear that on her left hand when she doesn't feel like wearing a wedding ring, because apparently some days she doesn't take it off out of disrespect. She takes it off and kind of says, do you know what, I just want something a little bit different on my hand. I just feel like I want, for a word of saying, something prettier on my hand, because it's at times it just gives her a lift. It gives her a bit of a lift, knowing that there was another piece of jewelry that he bought for her, and I think for what he's saying, it fits her left finger better than what it does her right, because I think it's a bit loose on her right hand. I think her left hand is a little bit bigger by a fraction than her right hand. But also too, he's directing me to a particular book that she was, okay, we're going way out of realm now. A particular book that she was reading towards his passing. Now, I don't know how that even comes into play, but I think it was more about his acknowledging the fact that she sat with him for a long period of time. She consoled him. She stroked his head. And his arm, that she's saying that, I will miss you, but I know there's not much more I can do, type thing. So she spent a lot of time with him and embraced kind of. Not well, embrace. I was going to say embrace is the wrong word, but it's actually the right word, because they were able to embrace one another and say a few things that were the right things, apart from that little Barney that they had. But yeah, lots of love, lots of this reaching out, sort of saying, it's me on a silver platter. I've got foot and mouth disease, and she should have known that, but just a small thing left in her heart that I think sometimes she wonders about. But yeah, it's your father's an amazing man. He knows a lot of stuff, a lot. Anyway, I will leave that with you, and if you can let me know, that will be fabulous. Okay. Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much for jumping in. I hope you're having a good evening, and hello to your wife. She's a beautiful soul too. Now, who haven't I done here? Claire Smith. Any chance for a reading, please, from the other side, Spirit, if you can connect with me or get any vibes? Thank you. Claire, look, I actually want to say to you, my love, there's a little bit going on around you. Probably, how do I say it? Probably more than you can handle right now. To me, there's a lot of stuff going on in your mind, and when I kind of get this overwhelmed feeling of there's lots that you've been thinking about. Like, am I happy in my job? Like, do I stick with what I'm doing? Do I kind of branch out and do something else? Do I put my passions on a shelf for a while before I can do anything about that? I actually want to ask you to, if you wouldn't mind, can you explore some of your passions? Can you take some time to really explore what your passions are? Because it seems like, with respect, it seems like you're putting something to the side. I feel that there's something that you want to do, and I know probably money is not flush right now, and I want to say that's probably one of your concerns. But also too, even if you had money, there's there's something about that you don't think that you can do it. You're holding yourself back. I keep doing this. Like I actually want to shake you and get you to understand that you know your stuff. You're just scared to put it into play. I want to put the money aside just for a moment. Just if you had the money today to do your passion, would you actually do it? Because if the answer is yes, find a way. And that's more about sitting down and kind of going, do you know what? Where do I need to go? What else can I do to make this happen? Because when you put things on paper, it's like I want you to draw a diagram of, I've got this money to pool over here. I've got kind of my qualifications over here, and I've kind of got a bit of an idea of what I want to do over here, but they're not 100% right. So it's kind of half your plan is not done, if that makes sense. So it's more about like putting that plan all out on paper, reading it over and over again, jigging it a bit, and kind of going, do you know what? This is actually feasible. I now think I can do this. Because the more you have said you can't, the universe pushes you away of actually saying, well, if you say you can't, then I'm not going to give it to you because you keep saying you can't. So twist it around, kind of going, well, I couldn't think I can do it, but I'm going to actually put it on paper and work out how I can. And if it takes you another couple of months to just work through that and work out how you can, that's the way you need to do it, because it will be very, very clear. Yeah. And I also, with you, I get all that was virtually coming through from a gentleman who actually doesn't seem that old, to be quite honest. That doesn't mean I want to say he's a teenager, but I'm getting a gentleman that's in his 50s. And he's dressed in a 3-piece suit, and he's virtually saying, he speaks very, tell her it would be okay. Tell her, she didn't put her ideas forward, as a child. Tell her that if she had have concentrated as a child at school, the decisions may not be as hard. So he's coming through, and that's not being sarcastic. It's just coming through that he's a very proud man, a man of his word type thing. So if that resonates with you, to whoever that is that you've lost, let me know, because he seems to be on the right track. And I don't want to embarrass you in any way, shape, or form, but when you were in high school, it was more about you didn't want to listen to others. It was more about you thought your way was the right way, and some of it wasn't. Okay, so Claire, thank you so much for joining, and just let me know how you go. All right, who have I got next? Milu, may I have a love reading between me and this Sagittarius man? Okay. Sagittarius man? What Sagittarius man? I thought in another question that you hadn't met anyone. Or could I be wrong? Could I be wrong on it's someone that I haven't read for yet tonight? Anyway, let me have a look. Okay. I don't know which one of you it is in the scenario, but one of you is I have to say things as I hear it. So, but again, I do say everything with respect, and I have no judgment of others. So please all understand that. But I need to bring forward that one of you is quite stubborn. One of you is so set in your ways that you're not willing to budge. And I really want to say, Malu, it's you. And that's not a bad thing. It's just about kind of knowing that, that can put other people off. And sometimes when we do that, it's almost like the other person goes, you know what, I actually want to be with this person, but if they're not going to compromise, or if they're not going to come together as one, then why am I putting myself out there for it? So it just seems to be that you've been, and again, with respect, it's like you've been really hurt in the past, and you've put up such a barrier that you're now saying, do you know what, I'm not going to allow anyone else to do that to me ever again. But by saying that and putting that barrier out, what you're doing is actually pushing people away. So Mr. Sagittarius kind of gets that feeling that you're interested, but you're not interested. You want them in your life, but you push them away. These are the sort of things that your outer energy field bounces off every single day. Yeah. So you just need to kind of go, do you know what? If I really want this person in my life, maybe there's some things that I can compromise on. Maybe I don't have to be so stubborn. Maybe I don't have to have everything my own way. Because at the end of the day, couple is about partnership. Couple is about, sometimes we don't want to compromise, but to help everything along and to maybe see it at someone else's perspective. It's more about, you know what, let's have a look at that. Let's grow together rather than you're here, they're here, we're coming here, but then we go, oh, no, not going to listen to that. I'm going to go off my own way, because then you're just creating that barrier more and more. Okay, have a look at that, see how you go, let me know how you go, and we'll take it from there. Melissa, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Okay, who have I got? Who have I got? Sorry, again, I'm just scrolling down to see what we have. Okay, I've got a confirmation here. Wow, amazing to say thank you. That was definitely my nan that came through. She was a perfectionist and definitely did have many different hairstyles for every occasion. I feel like she's been sending me lots of messages lately. Oh, Ria, thank you so much. That's, getting confirmation. It doesn't, I don't have an ego. What I do is I get pleasure out of just helping others, connect and understanding that, I've been doing this since I was a child, I'm pushing 60 this year. Yeah, believe it. But in hindsight, it is about integrity. It's about people understanding that, from seconds, I just get this connection, and the spirit will always tell me something that will just resonate with whoever I'm reading to. And yes, in person is fabulous, but this way also is some people think it's a bit of a fast, because how do we do it? But if spirit is around me and spirit is tuning into me to respond to your questions, then that's what I do. And I do it, as I said, I do everything with pride. I do everything with integrity. Do I put a little comment out there of, I was awarded a finalist in a massive Australian thing. I'll put it up on my Facebook shortly, because it has to, come through. I got the call. It's an extremely prestigious thing. So I'm very honored, very blessed, and very, very grateful to be acknowledged for, what I do in worlds where it's straight business suits and stuff like that. So, that's quite extraordinary. But I will be I will be sort of sharing that shortly. Andrea, hang on, I thought of you while watching Mystique. Thank you. How lovely. I try to be the best I can be. Lola, I am well. Can I please have a card on relationships, please? Okay, Lola, my friend. Lola is somebody who has followed me for a while. Seems to enjoy my post quite often. So thank you, Lola, for that. Anyone else that's watching, I would like it if everyone could like and or love and share the page tonight, just so we can help as many as we can, and so they can come on board. Oh, okay, Lola, my love, what's going on? I have to say to you that you're a person who has been, wow, Spirit says at times you've bit off more than you can chew, and I don't know where that sits just yet. I have to kind of work out why they've said that. But in hindsight, it's about, again, with respect, my love, and I actually want to give you a hug at this point. It's like at times, Spirit is taking me back to your younger years, where in a group of people you always thought, and please don't hate me for this, but it's like you always thought you were the ugly duckling. But I just want to say to you that you associated with the wrong people. because it was the people that you associated with that made you feel that way. It wasn't you looking in a mirror saying that. It was other people who made you feel like that. And I have to bring your attention to virtually 2 years ago, there were some people who kind of made you have that feeling all over again. And I want to slap those people, because that's really, really rough that someone can do that. Someone has tried to, intimidate you and to make you feel that, that you're not worthy of being loved. And I need to turn that around tonight, because, you are worthy of love. You're a beautiful soul. And I have to say it as I hear it, that you just haven't been around the right people. Really, really unfortunate. And those people, I want to say to you too, that throughout a few times in your life have borrowed things, not given them back. And it started off, when I say trivial things, I just mean smaller items. So it started off with like smaller things, and that wasn't a problem, but then you never got those back. And then they asked for bigger things, and then you still never got that back, to a point where you even felt intimidated to ask for certain things back. And that's kind of put you on a roller coaster. And that roller coaster, I have to get you to get off that roller coaster, because you have to come back with knowing knowing and understanding your own worth. Because it's only when you understand and appreciate your own worth that things just blossom. Things blossom. And when you're asking about love, like, again, it's, the man of your dreams is not going to walk through and meet you tomorrow, not going to meet you next week. But there will be a build up after Christmas where you've got your confidence back, where you will start to go out. And I see you, it's not actually a cafe. I actually see it like a, what would I call it? It's still coffee, but it's like one of those smaller places that just do takeaways. They don't do sit down. So it's not a sit down cafe, and it's virtually, I don't even think you drink coffee, to be quite honest. I think you're a tea drinker, but anyway, I could be wrong there, because I've got another spirit jumping in, virtually trying to talk to me about somebody else. So, and I'm just trying to tell them to be patient. So I'm not sure if that coffee bit was for you or for someone else. But in hindsight, it's if you go to somewhere continually, it's leaning towards Christmas time, when things are, again, just a little bit freer. And whether you get a takeaway and just sit and do what I call people watching. It's not people judging, by the way. Don't get that wrong. It's not you're not there to judge people. You're there to just do some people watching. Somebody else will start to sit near you. Somebody else will just start a conversation, and all of a sudden you have a companion that is a good conversationalist. I want to leave it there, because Spirit is kind of saying it could go further, but because of restrictions, I can't, I'm saying towards Christmas, but that could blow out a few months. So I actually need you to get the confidence back in you, from others that have treated you badly, I want to say, and understand, who you are, and love yourself for you. That's not you. That's not me saying you have to get an ego. It's more about just appreciating. People have put me down over the years, whatever. I really couldn't give a damn right now. They don't pay my bills. And if people don't like me for who I am, or for the way I look, or for the way I dress, does it matter? I'm not put on this planet to please them. I kind of need you to have a bit of that attitude. And I know sometimes people don't even like me saying that, but, it really is just something about self-worth is so valuable, and it's so powerful. When you lose that, everything seems dark. Everything seems that you're not doing a good enough job. Everything seems like an effort. It just goes all wrong. And then, of course, other things can happen from that. So, Lola, I hope that helps you. Please let me know how you go with that, because, just there's something in there. Okay, Dean, I'll call Mum now and get back to you. Thank you. That would be good. Now, where was I? Okay, I want to go to Stella. I don't know why, but tonight stressed me because there's so many questions. I don't know how you cope. It's actually overwhelming me, even though the questions aren't for me. It's so amazing how you stay calm. I think maybe I'll book another private reading because I wondered something. but it's not that important. I think the other people's questions are more important. Stella, look, thank you so much. It overwhelms many people. You're not the only one who would think that. It's more about, I connect with spirit quite often, so I can, when I say push them around, I can kind of move them around, where if I'm hearing something that I know is not for the person I'm reading for, I can kind of push that spirit guide to the side and kind of wait to see where I feel that one fits, because they will just bounce in whenever they feel like it, when I'm open to it. So yeah, I'm pretty structured in the way I look at a picture, hear what I hear, have a look down the card, see what I see, and then put it all together. So as I said, I've been doing this since I was a kid, so many years of doing this. Okay. Melissa, do you find some spiritual guides don't relay messages as well as other? Melissa, I probably wouldn't agree with that. What happens in the spirit world is sometimes they're not so eager to have a conversation. Sometimes they want to sit on the fence and wait for you to ask, specific questions to them. Sometimes they're hesitant to come in because there may have been an argument before they passed. Sometimes their own energy hasn't empowered them in spirit world enough. If they've just passed of something, like if someone passes yesterday and possibly went through a year of cancer treatment or something like that, that's depleted all their energy. So when their soul is released, their energy isn't bold, it isn't fully recharged, if that's the way of saying it. So in those cases, I might get spirit sitting on a fence where I have to kind of, in my world, walk to them, go to them, and kind of find out who they are and who they want to connect to. So that can happen as well. So sometimes messages are clearer than others, but for reasons not that they don't want to be clear. It's for many other reasons. So again, as a psychic, it's more about how long you've been doing it, how well, because spirit doesn't talk in full messages either. I have to let everybody know that spirit does not say things in full sentence. They don't tell a story in my ear. They will say bits and pieces, and I have to put it all together. And sometimes they will just jump from here, there, and everywhere, and I just have to put all that together. So again, it comes down to, and that's not, anyone who's starting out in the industry, that whatever. It's, don't ever be frightened of opening yourself up to just allowing yourself to hear. Sometimes, you could write a whole stack of things on a piece of paper and think, oh my God, that's for 5 different people, because it's, you open yourself up. So, Melissa, I hope that answers your question. And thank you, everybody, for leaving me such beautiful comments. Okay, now I have to jump to Bianca. You keep saying hi there. I don't know that you've actually put a question up, so it would be nice unless I've missed it or unless I haven't got to it yet. Here we go. Just as I say that, it comes up. I would love a general reading, but also would like to know if my brother will reunite with his kids from his first marriage. There's a big void in the family. Okay, so Bianca, on a live feed, that's half an hour's worth of reading, so we won't be getting to all of that. And I do say that with respect. I'm not having a shot at you at all, because I've got to make it fair for everybody, and that would be virtually a full session with me. So if you actually want to book in for a full session, I'm happy for you to do so. Because there's a lot there. I've just seen there's another question underneath here where you're also asking from messages from deceased relatives. So, it's all not going to get done tonight. But what I want to say to you, I actually do want to touch on, I think your question about your brother is quite important, because the kids are quite important to him. And I have to say to you that your brother, I think, feels that he has exhausted all avenues to get to see his kids, but I don't believe he has. I believe there's probably about 2 avenues that's still there to go, and I think it's more about, and again with respect, and I don't know how you would talk to him about this, but it's respectful in a way of curbing some of the anger. I seriously know how frustrated he would be and how angry it would be if somebody is withholding children away from their father. But if he decreases the anger in the people that he's talking to, it will help him a long way. Because, just think of yourself, if you go into a, I don't mean to lessen the situation, but if you go into a shop and it's like, oh, I bought this and it's rubbish and I want my money back today, and don't give me any excuses, I want my money back today, you've already got the person off guard. The person was probably already going to say, oh, really, I'm sorry that happened, I'm offering you your money back. You're not giving that person that chance to say that, and I feel that's the same with him. And I understand why he's angry, and I understand that he would be quite livid if he couldn't connect back with his loved ones, because to me they're beautiful little children, and they need their dad too. But in all seriousness, I just have to say, if you can talk to him some way and get him to talk to others with not so much anger in his voice, more about coming to them on an empathy path, and allow himself, I don't know if he will, but allow himself to virtually say, I really miss my children. I'm really struggling to not be around my children. My children are are my life. They're my party. They make me whole. Please give me the chance. Even if he says, I don't know, he doesn't have to prove himself, but even if he uses a word, please give me the chance to prove myself, that I'm a good dad around my children, I will do that. So that's how it comes through, for me. So I actually had to say that because it seemed very, very important. So let me know, and I just hope that you can pass that on. Natalia, thank you, a nice person. Like this one good grandma I've never had. Can I hug you? Oh, wow. Isn't that sweet? I don't think anyone has ever said that to me in my life. Oh, Natalia, thank you. I don't think anyone has said a compliment like that in my life. So thank you so much. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Christina, hello, new viewer. I'd like to know if I will find out I'm pregnant before the year ends, and one baby or twins. Christina. It's all about love and children tonight, isn't it? Okay. Without anyone getting upset, without anyone feeling that they're unworthy, I actually have to say to you, you won't find out by the end of this year. I feel it's actually going to be late January, early February. Okay, Spirit's just jumping in and saying it's the first week of February you'll find out. And I'm actually only being told one, but I actually see that there's another one to come. Actually, no, we're jumping again. There's another two to come. So if you never ever wanted three, you probably don't like me now. But in hindsight, it's more about you have gone down the path of just wanting child rather than telling yourself you have to have one. And I feel that that's gone a better way for you. But I think without being too personal here, I think and feel that something has happened previously. And I think that you feel that you weren't going to get pregnant again, to be quite honest. And I want to say to you, it's been a little bit of a rough ride, but you haven't taken it all personally. You've understood that there are reasons why certain things happen, sad as it was, but there are reasons why certain things happen. And I actually want to say to you, end of January, there will be good news. I see one at the first point, and then I see two after that. So, and not necessarily together either. So, but I think everybody is going to be in a short period of time where they will all grow up virtually with not much between them, so to speak. So, and that that only allows me to know that enforces such a beautiful family unit. So I hope that helps you, and I hope you weren't shocked at how many. But yeah, I just let me know what you think. Okay. Jacqueline, you missed heaps. Should have had your phone charged. Let's be funny. Okay. Let me again. Hey, Mel. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you enjoyed your live earlier. It was all sounding very good. Okay, Greta, I have to say to you, no, because I can't see, because I'm only me, I can't see questions on YouTube. So if you can just stay on here for questions, that'd be fantastic. Okay. Sorry, again, I'm just making sure there's no things here where I have to worry about. But I also am just checking for... Okay, so we do have one. I thought we did. So if anyone's getting a comment from Tina Bravo or something or other, just block them. Block them and delete. This is ridiculous. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Joanne. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes, thanks, Breezer. They're just, I thought we were actually going quite well, but I knew that I actually knew there'd be one or two, because Facebook keeps telling me the same thing. So, yeah, just oh my God, persistent little thing, isn't it? Thanks, Breezer. I agree with you. Should we say to Tina Bravo, 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 because I agree with Breezer. If they think they're so goddamn good, then get on and do their own. Okay, Anastasia, I just answered someone else saying YouTube I can't see while I'm live. So if you can just let me know your question on here, that would be fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Okay. Well, okay. What I was seeing before doesn't necessarily mean that you've lost someone, or you've lost that you've lost a child. What I saw happen before is you've gone through a rough patch and things haven't kind of gone to the way that you wanted to go. So you need to kind of, just be ready to have some fun with some loving little children around, because it's going to be because they're in close proximity. Excuse me. It's going to be a handful for a while, but all embrace at the same time. Can I please ask you type of career that is best aligned with my life purpose? Okay, Kiara, for something like life purpose and things like that, I'd appreciate it if you booked in and had an actual reading, because firstly, and I'm not certainly not picking on you, but you don't have a picture beside your name, which gets a little bit difficult. And Spirit is virtually, saying anyone, anything about life purpose and a career path, is far more in depth as such. Especially if we want to, if you want to sort of go through aligning it with your life path and working out where your path went beforehand, before you made some changes in your life to go a different path. So with all due respect, I do thank you very much for your question. But if you would like to get in contact with me, because that one is going to take a while to unravel, to get you to understand the path that that you're traveling on, where that leads to, and why it changed. Because I actually want to say to you that path has changed. Probably about 4 years ago, there was something that went on that made that path change, and there's reasons behind that. So yeah, it would be great if you could do that. Okay, Bianca, Big Brother part, I did, and I hope that you I hope that you got that message and you're able to relay that to him. That would be wonderful. Okay, Emma. Can I please get a general reading? Any babies? Also, I looked after a lady called Helen. She passed last week. Does she have anything for me? Thank you for looking after Helen, I want to say. I probably won't touch on the general due to the length of time those take. And yeah, just bear with me for a second. It's always good to take a little bit of a deep breath and a bit of a breather. Okay, Emma, I want to actually say to you that there's a lot of anxiety built up, and I believe I believe it was Helen that was, probably the last 4 months. A lot of changes, a lot of things going on that she wasn't happy with. A lot of with respect, a lot of people trying to do and say things that weren't quite right with her. It seems that she was being pushed and pulled from pillar to post, and that wasn't very, how do I say, well, it wasn't very dignified for a while. But also, too, there was too many people had too many opinions, and it was almost like Helen wasn't heard. So some, like, 4 or 5 months ago, certain things that she was saying, it was like those things went unheard. But I want to say to you, towards the end, not sure what happened, but she's kind of going snap, 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 like, within a short period of time. Towards the end, all of a sudden, people were doing what she was saying. People were kind of going, oh, okay, we need to back off because that's not quite right for mum, and that's not. Oh, okay. So obviously there was a daughter in the mix, and I think possibly a daughter-in-law in the mix. They were kind of always saying, no, do this, do this, do this, or do it this way, do it that way, and they were wrong. And I think I want to say to you that you saw through some of that. I think you kind of were able to not help, I don't want to say that help push people away, but you were able to put yourself in the center, so to speak, that you were, yes, you were her sounding board, but yes, you had another set of advice that was constructive, and it wasn't critical as such. It wasn't about saying it in demeanor that was putting her down. It was more about helping her see some things in a different light, where she understood it a bit better. But I also want to say to you that she thanks you. She thanks you for your help. She thanks you for your undivided attention. I believe that every time you were helping her, you didn't kind of go off track. You weren't one of those people who picked up your phone and only half listened to her and stuff like that. You were really there, focused on her, and she adored that. And she also wants to thank you for so you didn't, I think towards the end you bought a bunch of flowers, but I want to kind of say throughout time you used to pick flowers and put them in a vase for her. Or was that her being able to have the strength then to go out in her own garden or someone else and pick little bits of flowers, and you put them in the little vase for her, because she seems to show me it's not towards the end, yes, there was someone who, and I think it was you, that bought her a big bunch of flowers. So I want to say that was for a birthday or a particular celebration not long before she passed. But in hindsight, along the way, there was little flowers that used to be picked and put in a little vase. So for that, she's very, very grateful. She also knows that, always telling me that you're on the right path of what you want to do in your life. You questioned that a little while ago and you had a conversation with her, but I don't think she was able to tell you the entire answer. I think that she either dozed off or she wasn't quite well at the time to be able to pass all the information on to you. But yeah, she's saying that you're on the right path and you're a bit of a go-getter. So when you know that you want something, you'll find a way to achieve it. Yeah. So Emma, thank you so much, and I hope that all resonates. And you can let me know. That'd be fantastic. Okay. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. I want to come to this one. She was so many people were rude to her and kept pushing her. I was the one who helped her and used to sing to her. Wow, okay. That makes perfect sense. She's a beautiful woman. There was all that I want to say badgering, like all those people sort of she wasn't being heard. And yeah, I'm really pleased that you're able to step in and make sure that towards the end that she was heard, because she struggled. She struggled for a while of people just not. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's great validation so quickly. Thank you. Stella, I just want to say good night. I hope you have a really nice night. I had better try to sleep. Love your live segments. You're so amazing. Thank you so much. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Whew. Now let me have a look. Who have I got here that I haven't done yet? I'm new here. Jessica, let me know where you're from if you wouldn't mind. That'd be great. And also, too, if you can like and share the page so more people maybe in your life or, groups or something can join and possibly, get something out of any other readings. That would be fantastic if you can do that. Babies and love is the thing, isn't it? Okay. Whew. Jessica, I actually want to say to you that you have, with respect, I mean, I know I'm smiling, but with respect, that you have mapped out a baby's room. And whether it's on a vision board or whether it says you doodling on a page, it doesn't really matter. It seems that you've already mapped it out. And I, I don't want to say, well, I'm going to say it. When you've watched some renovation shows, you've actually excuse me, you've actually got some ideas. And what I want to say, like great ideas, but what you've mapped out, I actually want to say too busy. Great ideas if they were two separate rooms, but just a little bit busy for my liking maybe, and maybe also too from Spirit, because Spirit is the one that's showing me that. But also too, it's more about separating Bubs's areas. So where I would say, like, the bassinet cot type thing would be, separate some of the other stuff around it so that's pretty clear, and have everything else on the other side of the room. So because I'm being shown all this, to then answer your question where you said see any babies for me in the near future, obviously there is, if Spirit is taking me to how the design of the room is going to be. And I have to say to you that the bassinet is white. I don't know if you know anybody who's good with their hands, but it's handmade. It's not just bought from a store, it's handmade. And there's a beautiful lace thing that sits on the top. But yeah, that's I kind of need that in one area of the room and use the other space on the other side of the room to separate certain things, because the room will be quite functional. And now I have to kind of go for a time frame now. So I actually don't see any of this for approximately 2 years. And that's more about, establishing everything, getting everything right, and knowing the right time when to become a mum, because there's some things with you with finances that I think that are stopping you right now. Okay, Spirit is saying that you will know the right time even when finances haven't picked up to its full capacity. So there's money coming, but yeah, not at full strength up front. So there's so obviously a little bit more than what you're receiving right now, but enough where you can kind of go, do you know what, if I stay on this path, then I can put more and more away, and I can kind of get myself involved in working out what's what, because you're a person that I want to say that when you want to do something, or when you want to plan something like that, not that you're anal with all your things, but you kind of are structured in, if I don't have enough money, I don't want to bring someone in the world because I don't want that person to miss out. So you're kind of that way inclined, which is really, really good. But be mindful of being too quick to jump into it, Spirit just said. So that's more about, like, if you have a quick thought of, oh, bugger it, it'll be right type thing, it's probably not the right time to jump into it. Yeah. So let me know how you go. That'd be great. What are we pushing? Hour 24. Probably won't go for much longer. Clarissa, why am I seeing just little one-liners? Have I missed something? Okay, I'm going to go to Clarissa. Clarissa, I'm sure I answered your question. But anyway, if you're still here, Clarissa, let me know what your question was. I'm sure I actually answered it. But I'm actually, if you can do that, that'd be great. And Kirsty Jade, have you missed any of my comments I got here early this time? Kirsty, quickly, I will wait. If you can just resend the question, because I don't think I've seen yours either. I know I had a troll on here, and it. So Kirsty, Clarissa, can you please put your question up? Thank you. That'd be great. For the moment, I'm just going to answer this one. Sarah, do you see me having a life partner? When will he come into my life? And I've spoken about this throughout the feed. I don't know if you're a late comer. However, with anything to do with soulmates, with having a life partner come into your life, with everything that's gone on with COVID, it's really, really difficult to try and find the right person at this current time. But I need to say to you too, okay, Clarissa, I've just seen that come through, so I won't be too long. It's more about, we haven't been allowed out. We haven't been allowed to go to certain places. We haven't been able to have the freedom that we're so used to when we're meeting someone, or we're going out and trying to put the feelers out to try and meet someone. So that's going to be really, really difficult for a lot of people. And Sarah, I say everything with the greatest respect. So I'm not picking on anyone in particular, but I have to say it as I see it, and I have to say it how spirit comes through. So with all that in mind, and with all this COVID stuff that's gone on, it's kind of pushed out at the moment how we can meet someone, and how we can embrace them, how we can bring them into our lives, how we can negotiate life together for them then to either become our soulmate or a life partner. So there's certain things that have to go on before we're allowed to do that. So I'm actually seeing with you too that you've been hurt in the past, and I know that you're saying you want to know when that person's going to come into your life. But I want to say to you, with respect, right now I don't think you're actually ready for it, even though you that you say that's what you want. Stuff has gone on in your life that I don't think has been fully resolved. And yeah, I want to say to you that I can help you with that sort of stuff if that's because I in my other line of work, I look at past trauma releasing and all that sort of stuff to help you become the best version of you that you're putting forward, if that makes sense. So yeah, so there's certain things of that's going on, plus the effort and the and everything that we've come up with being able to go out and meet someone. Really, really difficult. But I want to actually say to you, if you start working on a bit of you, then you're giving yourself that time to be available and to be freer when we're kind of allowed to kind of mingle a bit more with other people, if that makes sense. So, everything, as I said, is said with respect. So I'm not being funny about it, because there's a lot of people who want to meet someone new in their life, and we just can't right now. I make a bit of a comment sometimes of, do we go in with a form that says, have you had COVID? Have you met with someone with COVID? Have you been, around it and all this sort of stuff? Because it's just, how do you know all these things? So you've got to be very, very careful. So I want to say to you that, within 8 months, you will be in a better position yourself, in understanding you a bit better, and to have been able to release some of that past stuff, that you're able to move forward. And by then we will be allowed to sort of evolve with one another a bit better, to connect with one another a bit better. And I would say that is where I'm headed with that one. So I have to go with that, because spirit is certainly connecting me there. Okay, now I'm just going to go back up here to, I'm going to do Clarissa first, Kirsty, and then I'll come back to you, because I've got your message here. May I please have a love and relationship reading, please, also career. Clarissa, where are we touching on the love and relationship part of it? Because as I've said a couple of times tonight, if anyone is on here looking for finding out when they're going to meet a partner, when they're going to fall in love, all that sort of thing, it's very, very difficult, as I've just said to a lady just now, with everything that's gone on with COVID, because we're not able to, freely meet up with people the way we used to, and that's really, really sad. Because I feel for the younger generation who want to find their life partner, who want to find a soulmate or someone to be with, to start a family. It's all about wanting that being brought into your life, so you have it. But yeah, there's a bit of a weight, like even the universe has to kind of go, well, do you know what? If I say 6 months, it's going to stretch out to 9 or 10, because COVID's not gone yet. So I can't go out and do a whole lot of that, do a whole lot of meeting with people, being able to spend a lot of time with new people in our lives, to learn about them, to enjoy them, to embrace them, to get that connection going. And then we've got, still some of these restrictions. But I say to you, Clarissa, I feel that there's, how do I say this? I feel like there's a need for you to find that perfect match for your life. And I feel, because I say the word need, because there is a want, but for some unknown reason, Spirit is directing me to a need to have it. But I actually have to come to you and say, you're not a better person just because you have someone in your life. You're a better person regardless. So I kind of want you to move away from that need. I know that sounds horrible, but that's how Spirit is presenting it. So I have to actually say it. But there is so much about you that is bubbly, that is kind, that you have a lot of friends. But Spirit was also saying to me that in your friends circle, be mindful of a couple that have kind of stood, how does he say it? Spirit is saying stood on your toes a couple of times. I wonder where Spirit is going with that, because if someone has stood on your toes a couple of times, is that more about you have had an eye for someone and someone has stood on your toes and whipped that person from underneath you before you could actually get a chance to embrace who they are? Or is that someone stepping on your toes for career? I seem to be actually seeing both. I see that it's happened in both ways. And I guess why, if I'm seeing that in both ways, I guess that's maybe the reason why Spirit said the word need, because if you had someone that was by your side, it would save some of that happening to you, if that makes sense, because that person would then, have your back and everything. So I guess that's maybe what the need word was, rather than the horrible way of the need word. But I also see for you too that you're grateful for many things that you have been shown through COVID. And I guess I guess with that comes with, you've learned a lot about a few people. You've kind of seen some people's true colors, and by being allowed to see that, then it's kind of opened you up to a different world, if that makes sense. So it's kind of opened you up to a different way of thinking, I want to say there. So in your career path, I guess what you've seen, you've seen some ugly things, and you've kind of seen how some people's behavior is not quite right. And that has shown you that you will never, ever want to be that person, yeah? So I see also too for you a career change, but I actually don't see that till April next year. It's more about, I guess, taking this time to start just looking, because obviously the things that you've found out, and you've realised that people haven't treated you probably the correct way through COVID, and again there's that thing of some people stepping on your toes. So my best advice, obviously, from Spirit and myself would be, take the time. Take the time. If I'm seeing April, take the time to search around. Take the time to kind of go, do you know what? What do I really want to do that I think I would, excel at, or where I would, be so passionate about that I would throw everything into this role. Have a search around for those sorts of things, because it's more about you finding the right thing instead of just bailing out of one and jumping into another. Yeah. So that's actually what I get for you. I wish you well on your journey. Please let me know how you go with that. Okay. Thank you so much for being so patient too, Clarissa, and I'm very sorry I missed the early messages. My screen goes so quickly that, it's really hard to get hold of everybody, and I don't deliberately miss anyone out. It just happens that way. Like, I can't get to every single person every single time. So I always ask for people's patience, because there is only me. I don't have anyone else checking anything, and everybody knows that's been on here before. Everybody knows that I do the best I can in grabbing everybody. Yeah. So I'm just going to jump to Kirsty, and then regarding health relations or even something general guidance from Spirit, please. Kirsty, okay. I actually want to bring you to a sense of where is Spirit going with this one? I'm being advised that you're way out of balance. Things just haven't been going right. And the more you try and make something right, the worse it becomes, if that makes sense. So I actually want to say to you that everything that, if I wanted to just generally say work-life balance, even that's out of whack, because I think I think something's changed in your work where you can't possibly have work-life balance. So I hope that makes sense. But Spirit is saying to me that you've incurred, and this is not necessarily someone who's passed, but I hear that you've incurred a loss, and in incurring that loss, you've lost some respect and you've lost some kind of guidance along the way. And I guess that's where that comes back to the unbalanced parties. But I also get told that you're quite intuitive yourself, but you don't trust what you hear, you don't trust what you feel. And I actually want to embrace you and say, listen to that, listen to some of that, listen to some of that intuition, trust in it, because your intuition and your gut feeling is 99.9% correct every single time. But you have to honor it, and you have to kind of go, you know what, it feels and sounds like a bit way out there, but I'm feeling it. Maybe I should give it a go. And that's what I want you to give it a go, because when your gut feelings are 99.9% correct every single time, it gives you the chance to explore that. It gives you the chance to say, oh my God, I was right. And not that that's about getting an ego. It's more about you finally tune into your intuition, because Spirit tells me that you're quite intuitive and that you connect with Spirit yourself. Again, I want to say to you that sometimes the things that you hear, you don't quite believe that you're hearing them, and you start to say, is that just me wanting to hear that? You need to open yourself up a bit more, because you can actually hear, okay? And regarding anything about your health, I actually want to say to you that I'm being shown like the number 6. So 6 months ago, there was something went on with you, and I want to say that, again, unbalanced. There was a lot of I'm not a medical intuitive, but I hear there was a lot of blood results that were out of whack. They couldn't you didn't know what was quite wrong. Someone had to, point you into the right direction before they could work out like how to help you, and that you do have someone, by your side that is, helping you through that, whether that's just your GP or someone that that's in the naturopath industry, for instance, someone that kind of can lead you to the right path. Yeah. So I hope that helps you. And again, with yourself, thank you for being very, very patient, because, it's been a bit of a long wait for a few. So I'm very, very sorry. Jacqueline, look, I've seen your message. I will get, again, Jacqueline, with respect that I try and do everything I can to grab people, and I have seen them, but I also just saw Joanne Phillips first, and I was looking down. She has asked a few times, so I just need to touch on her first before I come to Denny. Okay, I can't please everybody all the time. It's a matter of, I'm here for a short time, and I've got through a hell of a lot already, and I just need to, I'm not angry with anybody. I'm just, I just try and get through everything I can. And do you know what? At the end of the day, also too, and I'm not saying this out of anything else but love. But I do all this for free, and if there is anything that's really important, anything that you need help on, please just book in for a reading, because then it's guaranteed. And then it's just a one-on-one. It's, the two of us tuning into everything so carefully, and going through as many subjects as we can in that period of time, because that is the way to go. The live feeds is more about, everybody kind of getting to understand who I am, understanding and seeing the way I read, seeing if they, gel with me or not, and doing all that sort of thing. So again, with respect with everybody, I do appreciate everyone that's here. I love that you like and share the page, and any of you that haven't, if you could do that, that'd be fantastic, and we can move on. Okay, Joanne, do you have any messages for me from Spirit? Joanne, I think I read for you a couple of weeks ago, and if memory serves me correctly, I think did I connect with your son? I think I did. What am I getting? I have to go with what I hear, and I'm hearing that you are, well, again, with respect, you're overwhelmed with grief, and I understand that. The grief, no one can tell you how long that will last. I'd be very, very foolish to, even give you a time frame on that, because everybody deals with grief differently. Everybody has to, go through the process, and there will be hurt, there will be sadness, it will turn to anger, the anger turns to fury, then we come back to being hurt again, then we come back to missing the person. It's a really revolving door, and you have to go through so many different emotions to get through the whole part of grief, and that's really, really difficult, and it's really, really hard. But that's why there is no time limit, and you take all the time that you need and all the time that you want. And if anyone starts to tell you to, move past things and think of something different, or whatever the case may be, please don't take that on board. Don't get angry as such, because some people are just a bit gullible, and they don't understand grief if they haven't been through some really tough grief. But I actually want to say to you that everything is just stopped. Everything is just still. Everything, it's almost like I can't breathe. Everything is, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. Everything is just hard. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. That's what you're feeling anyway. I have to clarify that. I really want to say to you that normally one doesn't have to bury their child. So when that happens, it's like the grief is even more so severe. But I actually need to let you know that he's okay. He's talking about, what's happened to your love of gardening. Why aren't you out in some sunshine, enjoying the sunshine? Why are you sitting inside looking at pictures? There seems to be, it's not on top of the TV. There seems to be something at the side of the TV, whether that's a cabinet as such, or whether the TV is built into something. I'm not sure, but it seems to be to the left side of the TV. There seems to be a wonderful photograph. Yeah, I'm being told that even through the day, you sit and stare at that. And you know what? If you do, that's okay. There's no right or wrongs in anything of this. And no one can tell you what to do. But I'm being kind of instructed that it's also to about time that you sat out in a bit of sun. If you want to take the picture out in the sun, for instance, do so. It's like I'm being told that you're not getting enough vitamin D, that you're not embracing some of the sunny days. And also too, it's okay to smile. Your son is telling me it's okay to smile, but he's not seeing that very often. So again, and not that he's pushing you about your grief, but it's almost like, Mum, I'm okay. Lean on me, talk to me when you want to. I'm always going to be here, but I need to see you smile. And a bit of jest, please, if you allow. It's more about he loves to see you smile. Your smile lights up a room. You can, you captivate people with your smile. You captivate people with stories and life experiences. So he's saying, come back to doing that. Come back to being that person. He knows it's a long road for you, but he's hoping one day soon he will see that smile, because he loves that. You smiling, go outside, look up to the sky, and say hello to him and smile at him, and I guarantee you 100% that you will feel that smile coming straight back at you. Much love to you, Joanne, and I hope that helps, and just let me know. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get to Denny. Is there any messages from my husband, please? Okay, so one card just jumped out, and I have to. That's my favorite card. That's love card, unconditional love. How do I? Another one I've got to tread carefully with, only because it's tough. Sometimes messages from loved ones make people sad, but at the same time they can embrace that they've heard from a loved one. We're getting the love card. I hear that the love was very, very deep, and neither of you thought you were going to lose him, to be quite honest. And it was just, it had to be. It was one of those things that just had to be. He didn't put his hand up as such. Like he had a very short time to work things through to kind of get it right in his own head, if that makes sense. But I actually want to say to you that at his funeral, there was, I'm not sure if it was yourself though, he's showing me, because I can't even see any picture on your, I can see read something or other on a little square, but I can't see any pictures as such. So I'm not sure if it's you I'm being shown to, or whether there's a daughter or a niece that got up and spoke, but had like a book, and I don't want to say it's the Bible, but had like a book. So whether they wrote something and just wanted to stand there with an open book so it would be a nice effect, or actually wrote it in a book, like this beautiful poem dedicated to him. But I also want to say that there was somebody else shortly thereafter, because it seemed like the poem brought out some emotion in a lot of people, but loving emotion. And then virtually the next person had some funny things to say about him, and kind of brought the room back to, oh my God, like, this gentleman is really a character. So I have to bring that forward because that's what I'm being shown. And again, I apologize in advance if any of this is upsetting for you. But I think upsetting with a smile, if that makes sense. But I'm also being directed to and it's the color purple. I'm not sure if you were bold enough to put a couple of purple flowers in his the spread of flowers on top of the coffin, or whether it was purple flowers that he bought for you, because that's your favorite color. But he is directing me to purple flowers, and he has a smile on his face when he does so. And I'm also being drawn to a necklace. You have one that I believe is a cross, but I also understand there's another one that's not necessarily a heart, because I think you've got one of those from someone else in your family. But I'm being directed to like a crystal circle pendant that I understand was from him. And I think at times there, I think you thought you lost that, but now you have it safe. And he's virtually saying it's okay to keep it safe, but please wear it, because I bought it for you to wear, not to be, shoved in a box type thing. And it's not about him getting cranky. It's more about him just sort of saying, you can walk into a jeweler shop and see, things on display or things in a box, your own jewelry. Start wearing it. Start getting the beauty out of it. Come back to people complimenting you in wearing it. So it's not to be in a box, or it's not to be locked in a jewelry case as such. So he's wanting you to embrace that, and he understands. He understands the difficulty. He understands that you don't necessarily want to smile and have fun. I'm being shown 3. There's 3 people around you, but also the number 3 is quite significant for other reasons, he's saying. but there's 3 people around you who have offered you such great support. They're great. One in particular seems to be a great mentor. One seems to know when that you really aren't right, that they say all the right things to kind of get you back on the right track, if that makes sense. And it's all about this unconditional love you really did have. You bounced off one another really, really well. Even jokes, you were able to have banter about jokes, and he just seems to be, such a character. But he also had this private, shy type about him as well. He could kind of play which field he wanted to in that respect, but knew sort of, if he was at work, for instance, knew hey, he had to be a straight lace. Well, then he was. I mean, there was no issue with that, because he was good at business, I want to say, but he also knew when to laugh and when to be able to express jokes and to not necessarily play the clown, but be able to engage in a crowd, to be able to do that. So I really hope that helps you, Denny, and if you can let me know how you feel with that, that would be absolutely fantastic. Okay. Whew. It's getting to that time of night. Okay, so I have another troll. Of course I do. Clarissa, I hope it all made sense to you. If anything didn't, please let me know. And, you might want to have that reading or anything with me, but that's okay. Okay. Breezer. May I ask if Luke was already seeing someone else or is seeing what? May I ask if Luke was already seeing someone else or is seeing someone else? He ended things so suddenly without any kind of explanation. Breezer, look, I actually want to say to you, I think you asked me a similar question a few weeks ago. I know some psychics sometimes say they can't remember what they say because it all comes through with spirit, but I seem to have this knack of remembering certain things. And I actually want to say to you that, is he worth the angst of you trying to work that out? Because it's not going to change the situation. And what I want to say, in adding to what I just heard from Spirit, is why you're putting yourself through that, regardless of whether, and I will touch on it, but regardless of whether you had someone else before or is seeing someone else, it doesn't change the outcome. And what I believe is that he wasn't the right person for you because you deserve so much better. I think that along the way, there were simply times when, excuse me, there were some times when you weren't being treated correctly. There were times when, your opinion on things or your input on discussions weren't valued. I seem to be getting a lot of that. Yeah, I just feel there is no looking back on, did he have, and all that sort of stuff, because it doesn't change the outcome. The outcome is that, whether someone's ended something so quickly or whether it's a gradual thing of ending, if it's not quite right, then we have to kind of learn, all of us, like, when we have a bit of a broken heart or we're upset because, someone did it to us and we can't believe someone did it to us. It's all about understanding where your heart is and kind of going, do you know what? If I wasn't feeling quite like 100% happy or things weren't quite right, then this person obviously isn't meant for me. Then it means that I, have to value myself more to bring the right person to me. And Breezer, I really have to say, I actually don't believe that he was the right person for you, because there seems to be too many inconsistencies, is what I feel. Too many changes at last minute. Too many If you ask questions, too many vague answers. So I'm getting that he wasn't a real strong communicator, but that's not through, because people are just born not strong communicators. But that's more of with him, I feel that it was more that it was a deliberate, not strong communicator, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I have to throw it to you that way, because that's what I'm feeling, yeah. And generally what I feel is just, yeah, it's just a bit weird. Just a bit weird. But anyway, we will, if you need to kind of expand on that further, I'm sure we will. Oh, there must have been another one, was there? Oh, thank you, Chantel. Thank you for sticking up. It's just, yeah. It's just really, I just get really ticked off how they can just think that they can just do all that, yeah. But it is the way it is, Okay, thank you. Thank you, Joanne. Look, I know that was a little bit difficult, and maybe, well, maybe you were ready to hear it. But yeah, I always say everything with the greatest of respect and the greatest heart. Like, everything always comes from my heart, yeah. So I just want to okay. Okay. All right, yeah. Yep. Too many ups and downs, lovely. Way too many. And just not worth it. What? My goodness. Because of that, it's just taken me off. Wow. Okay. Thanks to a troll, he just got me unhooked from Facebook. Wow. Okay. Sorry, guys. There's just a few issues with some of these trolling. They're actually interfering with my entire connection on here, so that's a bit sad. Okay. Okay, I want to come back to this. All the family wrote in a book about their memories and life with him as their dad and pa and friend. That book gives me a lot of sad but happy memories. Thank you so much. I just needed to know he was okay watching over us. Absolutely, he's watching over you, Denny. And look, that book will live on forever. And I understand. Yes, it's sad when you lose someone so close, but he does watch over you. And being able to pick up something physical, in a book, and flick back on it, it's extraordinary. Yeah. But yeah, I actually want to take the time. Someone's saying I sound dehydrated. I always get to that point, but also too, it's all about, sometimes the spirit jumps down my throat too, because I'm relaying, what spirit says. So yeah, it's all about that too. But yeah, thank you so much, Bernice, for looking after me. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay, Breezer, thank you so much. Yeah, that's, now that they're friending people and whatnot, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm very sorry that's happened tonight. But Facebook have tried, and they keep saying that everyone who does a live will get a few trolls each time. It's all about trying to keep on top of them and blocking them as soon as we can, because then they'll come up with another name next week. But it's all about just jumping on as soon as we can, and I can block them from this end too, which kind of throws me off the track sometimes if I'm in the middle of a read. Throws me off the track of being able to finish that. But anyway, we're here, so we're on the 2-hour mark, so I am going to finish up for tonight. I do want to take this opportunity to thank every single one of you for joining me tonight. I know I didn't get to everybody's reading, and I'm very, very sorry, but if I was on here for any longer, I wouldn't have any voice. So next week again, it will be Tuesday night. I think that's the last of the meetings I have to do on Wednesday evening. So we'll probably be back to Wednesday night after that. However, I have had a great crowd that comes in on a Tuesday night. So I might leave it for Tuesday nights for a little while longer, but definitely next Tuesday night I will be here. Just a little update on Christmas and New Year readings that I'm going to do from Christmas and New Year. Hayley, there's actually nothing wrong with me, seriously. Thank you for saying get well soon. But it's just when you do so much talking at once and spirit jumps in, yeah, your voice just goes a little bit funny for a little while. And look, it'll be fine in the next half an hour, truly. So I'm certainly not sick, but thank you very much for your kind wishes. Yes, just going back to Christmas and New Year. Something a little bit different for those 2 nights, because there's a lot of people who are going to be alone on those 2 nights, and I have set up events for those 2 nights for everybody here to come on live and interact. So we're going to do those ones from 10:30 p.m. probably through to about 1 a.m. to get past the the midnight things. I will have, please, all my viewers from overseas and interstate, or maybe not so much interstate, but international viewers and overseas, a little bit different for you. So for Christmas and New Year, I'm going to have gift packs to give away randomly. I'm going to have prezzies to give away where I'm just going to wrap things and I'll forget what's in them. If you live in Sydney, I will, or in some other states, I will post them to you. Anyone international, of course, if you win anything on or get chosen as a giveaway on, because we might have a bit of trivia and something else, just to make it a bit of fun as well as spirit stuff. If you're overseas, then of course those ones all I can offer. I know, but I mean just with your voice. Thank you, Hayley. You're gorgeous. Joanne, you love Tuesdays. Thank you. Overseas people, I can offer you free private readings, because that will be at my own cost. So I'll be giving you away something, because I can't really package up the gift basket and send that overseas. I'm getting some gifts or some stock sent to me by some fantastic people overseas. I'm getting hair care products from the famous, world famous hairdresser to the stars at Beverly Hills, Mr. Nick Shavaz. He is the most divine. He's got blood in him from Native Indians. His dad was a Native American Indian, and he's just the most gorgeous man who has the most amazing hair products. So I'll have, he's sending me over some of that. Amy Khan Russell handcrafted jewelry. Some of that's coming to give away. There will be some crystals. Again, there'll be some crystal bracelets. There'll be some sun catchers. There will be what else have I got lined up? Who else? There will be my international friend from it's gone out of my head now. Mr. C. Makem, who does his own line of makeup, ready to wear. He's from United States of America. He will come on probably and do it, or send me a little bit of a what do you call it? What do I call it? I forgot where I was going with that, but anyway, he'll obviously might send me a little bit of a spill that I can put up where you'll actually get a message from him. He has a voice to die for. He is just sensational. He's an international makeup artist, and again, there's another one, Rod Legis, who is another international makeup artist to the star. So I have all these beautiful international famous people who will be helping me on board with putting some of these packs together, where there'll be gifts for you guys for Christmas and New Year. I just have to compile it all together, and yeah, I think Christmas and New Year, our nights live will be fantastic. It'll be something just a little bit different, and if anyone copies me, I'm going to kill them. Because my idea, I've already put the events up, so if we've got copiers, well, so be it. I can't, help that, but yeah, I'm putting it out there. If they do, I'll go cranky. However, they don't know the people that I know. That's all I can say there. I might hint there might be a couple of caftan tops from Catherine Kelly Lang, who, if you don't know, plays Brooke on The Bold and the Beautiful. Even on my website, there's a picture of her with my, hanging onto my business card. She's a beautiful woman, so there might be some surprises there. So yeah, it's a something that I want to do for you guys who have just been so sensational with my live feeds, who have embraced everything that I do. You all know that I've been doing it for a while. You all know that I'm authentic. There's no BS about me whatsoever. I am who I am. Take me as I am or not at all is one of my favorite sayings. But it's to me, it's something that I just felt like I wanted to do. But also too, like I have some the main reason behind it too is I know that I'll have a block of people that will be watching from 2 domestic violence refuges, and that's who I've had my meetings with, and I'm just getting them organised with some computers and whatnot at the moment, so they can kind of sit down as a group, because they virtually have, going through domestic violence, they have nothing on Christmas and New Year as such, so tough times for them. So organised a couple of laptop computers and everything for them. I'll be setting them up so they can, with the live feed, so they have it. And it's all about, that's what started my idea, because those women and those kiddies, they may have nothing, absolutely nothing for Christmas and New Year, and they might even have nobody to talk to. And that was all about why I wanted to first do it, but then I put it out to you guys as well, and you guys embraced it as well. So, with those ladies wanting to, just have a bit of fun to forget their worries for 2 nights of the year. They've been to hell and back. I mean, I've been through domestic violence, and there was certainly nobody that was available to that capacity to help me in any way, shape, or form. So, that's another one of my passions, and that will be part of my book as well, where I talk about how the system treats domestic violence women and how their emotions go from one extreme to another, and how they feel like at times that there's nothing worth to live for. They might divert to drugs, alcohol, gambling, all that sort of stuff, and it's about trying to keep them on the into realizing that their own self-value and self-worth is the most important thing to keep them going. So that's what it's all about for Christmas and New Year, helping people in need, allowing those people to feel like there are other people on the planet that love them and that will help them and that will see them through, so we can all have a bit of fun, and we can all be here and embrace the night and just have some fun. So I just want to do something a little bit different. Like the idea or hate the idea, it doesn't really matter to me, because I just want to do it, and whoever can put that in their calendar for Christmas and New Year's Eve from 10:30 onwards. I mean, it's already set up as an event on my Mystique page, so if not anything for the rest of the year, please come on board with that. I know I won't be here live on Tuesday the 24th of November because it's my big birthday. So that week I probably won't do a live feed because I've got an awards night. The birthday's the 24th. I've got an awards presentation night on the 25th, and the 26th and 27th I'm going out and away for my birthday to embrace that. So that week you may not see me, but you never know. If I've got, if I've got some spare time up my sleeve, I will jump on and, have some fun with you guys. So again, thank you so much. Breezer, thank you so much for your comment. I've just seen it. Desley, thank you. I will take care. You take care as well. Thank you for joining. Breezer, and that's what it is, it's just who I am. As I said, I never had anyone do it for me, and I just know how that feels, and so I'm put on this realm to try and make everybody, feel that there is something there for them. So, yes, I will do that. Joan, good night. Thank you so much, and to everybody that's still watching, my dear, people that continue to watch, please like and share the feed, whether it's tonight, whether it's another time, just when you like and share the feed, you're allowing someone else to be able to, I just cut myself off there. You're allowing someone else to embrace what they you know, what they might want to find from spirit world, or, you know, whatever else. So time for us to do all that sort of things. So again, I'm going. I'm sure you've had enough of me tonight. So I will see you all next week. Have a great week. Anyone who wants to contact with me privately, please do so, either here in the inbox or message me. It's all very good. And I wish you all a very good week. And that's me saying good night. Alrighty. Thanks, guys.